The red dust of the Arizona desert stained the worn-out tires of our Jeep. My brother, Sam, and I were on a road trip, chasing a ghost. Not a person, but a sound. A whisper we'd heard in a series of old recordings from the Navajo Nation. A sound that locals said belonged to the Skinwalker, a creature from their folklore, a sorcerer who could shapeshift into animals, or worse, into people. You really think there's something out there, Alex? Sam's voice was a nervous tremor. He gripped the steering wheel, his knuckles white. I laughed, a little too loudly. Come on, Sam. It's for the channel. People love this stuff. We'll get a few shots of some coyotes, maybe a weird light, and we'll have a viral hit. We set up camp just as the sun bled across the horizon, painting the sky in shades of orange and purple. The wind began to pick up, carrying with it a chilling stillness that made the desert feel ancient and alive. I set up the camera on a tripod, pointing it toward the distant, shadowy canyons. The screen on my phone flickered to life, showing the live feed. Around midnight, a sound drifted from the canyon, a low, mournful howl that didn't belong to any animal I knew. It was too human. Sam's head snapped up. That's not a coyote, he whispered, his eyes wide with fear. Then, a new sound, closer this time, a rhythmic tapping on a rock, like a human knuckle. I grabbed the camera, my heart hammering against my ribs. I zoomed in on the darkness beyond our campfire. A faint, glowing pair of eyes stared back at me. They weren't a reflection of light, they were glowing. The camera feed glitched for a second. When it cleared, the eyes were gone. Did you see that? I stammered, my bravado gone. Sam just pointed toward the canyon. The tapping was gone, replaced by a low, guttural growl, and then the unmistakable sound of a baby crying. A desperate, piercing wail that echoed off the canyon walls. That's how they trick you, I whispered, remembering the old stories. They use a human sound to lure you in. Against Sam's frantic pleas, I started walking toward the crying. I had to get a better shot. I had to prove this was real. The crying seemed to move as I walked, always a little ahead of me. The hum of the camera's motor was the only thing I could hear, besides my own ragged breathing. Suddenly, the crying stopped. An eerie silence fell. I held my breath, waiting. Then, a new sound came from the darkness directly in front of me. A frantic scratching, like a dog digging in the dirt. I pointed the camera at a small bush. The scratching was just on the other side. My fingers trembled as I took a step closer, slowly moving around the bush. Instead of a dog, I saw what appeared to be an old man, on all fours. His back was to me. He was scratching at the ground, his body contorted in an unnatural way. A deep, wet gurgling came from his throat. "Sir," I called out, my voice barely a whisper. "Are you okay?" The man's body went rigid. Slowly, impossibly. His head began to turn. It twisted past his shoulder, continuing to rotate until his face was looking directly at me. His eyes were milky white, and his skin was covered in a thick, dark hair. A chilling grin stretched across his face, revealing a set of sharp, canine teeth. The sound of his bones and joints popping as he twisted was sickeningly loud. He began to run towards me on all fours, his movements a horrifying blur of human and animal. It wasn't a run, it was a scuttling, a disjointed, terrible lunge. I turned and ran, screaming. I could hear him gaining on me, his heavy breathing right behind my shoulder. I dove back into our camp, grabbing Sam. "We have to go, now." We tore out of the canyon, leaving a cloud of dust behind. Through the rearview mirror, I saw it, a figure, tall and thin, standing in the middle of the road. It wasn't the old man anymore. It was a distorted, gangly version of a deer, its long, bony limbs moving in an unsettling, unnatural way. The deer's head was twisted, staring directly at us, and just as we passed it, its voice, clear and cold, echoed in my head. "You came looking for a ghost. You found one."